on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
All right, welcome out to the best in sports right here on WCSL 92.3 on your FM dial, 1590 on the AM dial. Tim Johnsn, Kenny Link here in the studio here today on a Wednesday. Hope you folks having a great afternoon so far. I tell you, Ken, it is hot outside.
It really is hot and humid. The dog days of summer, as they call them.
I'm telling you, Ken, and there's a lot of dog days out there. And speaking of dog days, how about those Cherryville Ironmen got their second straight win, Ken, with a big home victory over Chase 26-15, Kenny?
Oh, this is a great start for Cherryville. I can't remember in recent years where they started off the season with 2 victories. And they beat Chase 26-15. They were behind that game 15-7 in the third quarter and scored 19 unanswered points to come away with that win at home. And they're going for 3 straight this week, Tim, as they host the West Lincoln Rebels.
Yes, West Lincoln got a very good football team this year, Ken, and got a lot of seniors coming back to play for Coach Tom Sane, and they came off a big win 2 weeks ago at Drone, Ken. So they're looking to go 2-0 just like the Cherryville Ironmen. So it ought to be a pretty good football contest. Now, is that game going to be at Cherryville?
It's at Cherryville.
Okay. So
Tom Brewitt have his boys playing pretty good ball. It'd be interesting to see how they match up against West. West had an easy victory, but the team they played not very good to start with, Drone. And so we'll see how they match up against Cherryville, who is looking pretty good this year.
They
so
are
far.
looking pretty good.
So,
yeah, we got to get Coach Brewitt on the show.
I mean, they got the first win was against a traditional rival every year, Bessemer City, at Bessemer City, and that was impressive. And then to follow it up with the win over 2A school, Chase, who's not a great football program, but still, it's a 2A school they beat.
Absolutely. And we got to get Coach Pruitt on the show here, Ken. We had him on last year a couple times on the Best in Sports. So great guy, great football coach, Coach Tim Pruitt up there at Cherryville High School. I see him out in the public all the time eating. He eats at Montsalant's up here and eats at also at Max Grill, where we'll be going after we leave the station here today. So, but yeah, Tim's great football coach. They got a really good person to lead that football program there at Cherryville Ironman. All right, Kenny, and so other high school scores: Shelby lost to AC Reynolds 17-14. Crest defeated TC Roberson 42-6. Really good football team in them Crest Chargers, Ken.
Yeah, they're very good. You know, they put a pretty good whipping on South Point the first game, and we saw how strong South Point was against Lincoln last Friday night. Shelby's got a great defense, Tim, but they're struggling a little bit on offense right now, so that was a close game, 17-14. I understand they missed a field goal in the fourth quarter that would have tied the game, so it's a defensive battle. So Shelby may take a little while to get their offense going, but they say their defense is outstanding.
Absolutely, and Shelby can win with their defense. If their offense struggles one night, Ken, they can win without a doubt with a defensive performance. They can get turnovers and take it to the house. I mean, we know that. We've seen that ourselves in previous years and stuff like that. So, but Kings Mountain defeated South Caldwell 42-6. Ken, here's the thing. Who's the best team in Cleveland County?
Well, it could be Kings Mountain. I mean, Kings Mountain.
They're loaded with talent.
Kings Mountain won big, and I read they were coach was disappointed, had a bunch of turnovers and penalties. He's complaining because they played so bad, and they still won 42-6.
All righty, Kenny. Kenny, we got who's this sidekick partner you got here with you today?
Well, we got a young man in here. He's I think he's prettier than his daddy, Addison Johnson. Join us today. Addison, big sports nut too. He can talk a lot of different sports. He especially knows that NBA real well.
Yeah, he's like Kevin Hastings. He knows all about the NBA. So him and Kevin, I like to get them two in the room together, just let them go at it, see which one comes on top.
It's just fun listening and watching. You know?
Yeah. All right, Addison. South Fork 2A. You got South Point. They defeated Lincolnton 42-7. Maiden, the Blue Devils, defeated East Burke 63-0. Ken.
Wow. I don't think Maiden give up a point yet. They won on 2 shutouts. Now, to be honest with you, Tim, they haven't really played anybody yet, but you can't fault them for winning big when they play who they play.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then you got South Fork 2A, rest of the conference. Bandies defeated Fred T4 49-14. And let's see, Lake Norman Charter defeated Pine Lake Prep 28 to 14.
Vandy's is 2-0. Now they haven't played two good teams, but they've won both games, so that's a little bit of a surprise. They started out of the gate winning.
They had them picked in the lower of the.
I
South
think
Fort
they
Toledo
had
bracket,
them picked tied for 6th or something. That's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Addison, on the Lincoln South Point game, do you know any of those kids over at Lincoln? Jamal, I know you know Jamal.
I know
Littlejohn.
Jamal. Yeah, I know Jamal.
And they got, Caden White, who was the first Federal Player of the Week. Ken and I presented that with Demery Brewer, a first Federal. Good, really. I tell you, the coaches was really high on Caden. They're saying he might be the best football player on that team, Ken.
Well, I know he was the best football player from Lincoln Friday night. There's no doubt about that.
On both sides of the
ball.
ball.
We called his name all night from that linebacker spot with tackles, and then they put him in that big bone offense in the fourth quarter, and I think he had 9 carries. He and Littlejohn were the 2 main ball carriers, and they just marched down the field, and eventually he scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
So he looked good on both sides.
Have you been to any games this year, Addison? Any high school football games?
No, haven't got to coach any of the games yet. I'll probably get off sometime this week and find a couple games.
And you just got back from Myrtle Beach, is that right?
Yeah.
So how was the beach down there?
It was good.
It was good?
It wasn't hot, but it was good.
Pretty good week to go then.
Yeah.
So, Kenny, this year right now, Lincoln is struggling. They struggled last year. They struggled last year at the beginning of the season.
They did. Well,
They don't play a cupcake schedule.
Let me say this in the right way. They don't play cupcake. They, in East Lincoln, play tough non-conference games. Now, some of these other teams in the South Fork 2A don't necessarily play that kind of competition.
Yeah, the strength of the schedule is not
so
as
if
tough
you
as
look
what?
at Lincoln's 0-2, there'll be a lot of teams in that conference to be 0-2 if they played who Lincoln has played so far.
Right, I agree with you
Now,
there.
Lincoln needs to be more competitive because they have not been competitive in either game. So they need to get better. I'm not saying they're a juggernaut because they got to improve before they can be competitive even in their league if they want to battle for a title this year.
Now, me and you, we are at Lincolnton High School this Friday night with the North Gaston Wildcats coming to town to take on Lincoln Wolves. And again, they've got a superb football player. And he's that quarterback that plays for North Gaston. Again, we saw him up front last year, what he did in Lincoln. He beat Lincoln pretty much by himself.
McNeil, kid 6'2", 205, and is
He's
an
a player.
athlete. He runs the option at that quarterback spot, but he doesn't pitch as much as he keeps it and goes because he can make things happen.
He's a lot like Chaz Surratt was, but he don't throw the ball as well as
No,
Chaz
he
does.
runs more. He can throw it, but he runs more than he throws.
Yeah, he's really fast. He gets in open field. You're not going to catch him.
And he got moves, got size.
Yes.
He's got it going for now. In the first 2 games, Tim, they've lit up the scoreboard. They've also given up a lot of points.
Yeah, they have.
In the first 2 games, they're averaging 55 points, but they're also allowing 45 points. So here's the deal. Lincoln should be able to score some, finally, Friday night. But they got to find a way to slow
them down.
Them North Gaston boys because they got an offense.
Well, I saw some things that Lincoln were doing. They're going to try to make the quarterback pitch the ball. So they're going to hit him every time of that option. They're going to hit him hard. So hopefully they can make him pitch and take the ball out of his hands and make somebody else beat him. They got a running back that's pretty good too, number 24.
Oh, they've got
fullback.
good offensive players. I don't know what they got on defense, but last year, from what we saw, they've got a good offense.
Well, he's playing defense, the quarterback McNeil. So he's playing safety. So we'll get to see him on defense as well. Okay, Ken. West Lincoln and Cherville, Ken. What's your take on the Cherville game? Do you think Cherville could play with West Lincoln? Now we know West Lincoln's got 2 outstanding running backs, a really good quarterback. And, of course, they got that little outside weapon, Xander Pendergrass.
I think it'll be a competitive game for a while, but I think West Lincoln's a more talented team, and I think in the end they win maybe by a couple touchdowns. I could be surprised. We'll see.
Sure. That'd be an interesting game to go see and also to hear, too. And you can, I'm sure, let's see, Milton, Mad Dog Baker, and Danny Aker, they'll have that on WCSL. Yes. That'll be Friday night. And I'm sure the pregame show will come on probably around, I'd say 6:30, Ken, or 7 o'clock, something like that. They'll come on. They'll talk.
They'll be on
at
7 o'clock with the pregame on WCSL 1590 and 92.3.
All righty, Kenny. We're going to turn Addison loose coming up next. So we're going to see what he can bring to the table here for us on the Best in Sports right here at WCSL. You listen to Tim Johnsn, Kenny Link, Mr. Baseball. Even though baseball season's over with, Ken, for the American Legion, we still got you here. And Madison Johnsn, NBA specialist, in the house with us, and a little bit of Odell Beckham news coming up, too.
the community wants and needs, because we live here too.
Definitely in touch with the city and what's going on.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Fords, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used. All makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
Tee it up and let it fly at the Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, voted Gaston County's best course. Ride and play Monday through Friday for just $28. Play and ride after 12 for $25. On weekends and holidays, play and ride for $38 and afternoon for only $28. Seniors 55 and older play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. And Monday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride on Mondays for $18. The Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, located on 255 Lincoln Academy Road in Gastonia.
Rock your way with Ace and enjoy the ultimate racing experience. See Ferguson's Ace Hardware in Cherryville for all the details. And enjoy concerts for a year and the top NASCAR races across the country. Go to raceatace.com or musicatace.com. And now at Ferguson's Ace Hardware, the Grommet, the newest member of the Ace family with up-and-coming products including tools, gadgets, problem solvers, and design innovations. All at Ferguson's Ace Hardware, Highway 150 East in Cherryville.
Baseball players rely on lots of coaches. First base, third base, pitching, and catching. But when it comes to insurance, you only need one coach, an Allstate agent. They'll help you with your insurance game plan. Plus, Allstate agents can bundle your coverage for your car, apartment, boat, motorcycle, and more. So you've got all your bases covered. Are you in good hands?
Hey, sports fans, call Allstate agent John Brown at 704-435-1920 today. Located at 503 East Main Street in Cherryville. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Is it time to update your kitchen? Then see the Kitchen Cafe at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Right now, save up to $1,500 when you buy 4 select GE Cafe appliances. Now is the time to save. If you're building a new home or remodeling your old one, this is a deal you can't pass up. Again, save up to $1,500 when you buy 4 select GE Cafe appliances at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Carter Chevrolet Swap Shop on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
That's right, party time right here. Mr. Baseball himself, Kenny Link, and Addison Johnsn, Tim Johnson. We're live here on WCSL 92.3 FM. Ken, I don't have my headphones plugged in. I'm just winging this right now. My headphones came out. I pull this thing out every single time.
So you going whether you need phones or not?
I don't know.
You can probably still hear Tim whether he's coming through or not. He talks pretty loud
I can hear
sometimes.
It now. So y'all don't need headphones? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we don't need them. Outside the studio, they might need a couple.
Oh, man, I tell you right now. College football season gets underway this weekend. Big-time game. Alabama and Clemson are at the top of the most of the polls. And still, Ken, Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer has been suspended, that is, for 3 games over his knowledge of the domestic violence situation involving one of the coaches on the staff. I'm surprised, Ken, we talked about that the other week.
I'm surprised, and most people think Ohio State went the wrong direction on that. Obviously, they want him to coach the football team. There's still a lot of controversy, still a lot of stuff going on down there. That story is not over with, but I think they've decided he's going to be the coach regardless, and I think that's what's going on down there.
Absolutely, I agree with you too, Ken. But I tell you, he should have lost his job. He
I agree
knew.
with-
Listen,
yeah,
his
he did.
wife,
And
he
covered
knew
it
about
up.
it. Absolutely, just because to win games with a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, really good football coach, but
Yeah.
what that guy did, it's really, really bad.
Well, it's bad when you cover
Yeah,
up stuff like
absolutely.
that. You're responsible. I mean, you're the head coach. It falls on you. Somebody got to take responsibility.
Well, how about the athletic director? Let's talk about that.
Well,
Let's talk about AD.
Well,
Ken.
it falls. It falls. The buck stops somewhere.
Yeah, but
that's his team. That's that's Urban Meyer's team, and he has to take a responsibility.
I agree with you.
And that's his coaching staff.
That's
he
his
put
coaching
together.
staff.
So he's got to take responsibility
I
when
agree
something
with you,
happens like
Addison.
that.
The AD didn't hire that coach. He did. That's the way I look at it. So it's his responsibility.
Well, they were also talking about the, I guess it's the president or the board or one of the guys on the board said that might have helped cover some of that information up too.
Yeah, there's still a lot of discussion, investigation. The investigation's not over down there, so there may be some more stuff dug out that it's not very favorable to the Ohio State.
That's bad. All right, Chaz Surratt, Ken, down at Carolina. He's suspended for 4 games. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And there was how many players got suspended? 15?
13, I think it was.
So
and 9 of them for 4 games, a couple of them for 1 game, I think somebody for 2 games.
So let me ask you a question. Is Chaz, if he hadn't got suspended, would he be the starting quarterback for Carolina?
Well, he should be. Now, Fedora was not going to make a decision until, I guess, right at the start of the season. With the suspension, it made his decision easy, but no doubt in my mind that Chaz Surratt's the most talented quarterback in Carolina.
If he's suspended, does that mean he can't go into practice with the team, or does that mean just for the game itself? In the pros,
I understand he was allowed to continue to practice preseason. Now, I don't know since when the season starts whether he still is allowed to do it.
That's interesting. So who's going to be quarterbacking?
Well, the left-handed fellow that was there last year that quarterbacked some, and he's just not the athlete or the talent that Surratt is. There's no doubt about it. Now, Carolina, I'm a Carolina fan. They're going to struggle. They're hurting. They was hurting anyway, Tim, before these suspensions. This is what I think going to happen. They'll struggle. The quarterback's going to struggle. And after 4 games, Chaz, if he sticks around, keeps his head straight, I think he'll have his opportunity about mid-season.
Got you.
I mean, that's just my thought.
Well, I think if they're struggling quarterback-wise and the first 4 games, they're losing and stuff, I think they'll let them. I think they'll both run like they did last year. They'll run quarterbacks in and out during the game and see who wins and who earns the spot to be the quarterback.
Yeah, and then I think it'll be sure.
I think Chaz he'll take that job.
Yeah, well, he's the most talented guy. And if I'm going there and I say, okay, team does about the same with either one of them, but we don't know this guy is really a great athlete. I'm going with a great athlete. I'm sorry.
Boy, he
better too.
Yeah, throws the ball better, stronger arm,
more fundamental.
Yeah, to me, I see he's better all the way around. But that's my
coach's decision.
It's coaching decision. For Doris, he's on the hot seat, Tim. I mean, Carolina hasn't done good. It doesn't look good now. He's on the hot seat. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, Ken, Alabama, Addison, you and Ken, Alabama and Clemson. Who's the better team? Clemson's got their quarterback back who was there last year. He got hurt. Did he not get hurt against – no, that was Florida State quarterback got hurt.
He missed a game or 2.
But but he's back.
Yeah.
So is Clemson better than Alabama?
Well, it's a good question. We'll find out. To me, those are the two top teams. And
Clemson's got
some people are picking Clemson to win a national championship.
Clemson's got a freshman quarterback that's really, really good. I don't know if he'll start straight off the bat, but
they got a kid now
that
played last year.
He's a senior, yeah.
Okay.
But I think Trevor Lawrence will win that spot out. He's from Georgia.
Really?
Not only that, there's another quarterback from Georgia that was #1 dual threat quarterback, Justin Fields, which is a really good quarterback, and I think he committed to Georgia. I think he went to Georgia.
Really?
But so 2 of the best quarterbacks came out of Georgia last year. So I think Clemson will have the better quarterbacks, but for Alabama, it's going to be tough to say who's going to win that starting job for quarterback.
Well,
starting out, I think Jalen will have that job.
That's interesting.
I mean, obviously, we know who the more dynamic quarterback is. And that's the ones who won the national championship, came in and he could throw the ball, make things happen. He's much better quarterback than Hurst. Now, I understand Hurst is senior and got all that experience and got all those wins under his belt, I still saying the other guy's a better quarterback.
Ken, think about the move that Nick Saban made.
Oh yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Well,
he went in at halftime and said, "We're making a quarterback."
Well,
I told you, I said they have to make a quarterback, change.
Tim, that shows you he knows his personnel.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a move.
That's why he's
a lot of coaches wouldn't go.
That's why he's one of the best. College
is he the
football
greatest
coaches.
greatest college coach of all? Is he the Bill Belichick of college football? I'd say yes.
Well, at this point, he probably is.
I'd say yes. I mean, there was a coach there before him that was great too.
Yeah.
Years and years ago.
But Alabama gets the talent. They really do. They get the talent.
Well, Nick Saban, anywhere he goes, Ken.
And they asked him about that change. He said, "Well, in our quarterback room, I'm confident anybody could have went and done the job." He probably does have a lot of talent. Hey, this guy's not having a good game. Throw this other guy in. We know he's talented. Boy,
I knew.
What happened?
I told you. I think I texted you or either called you at halftime. I said, Ken, if he don't make a quarterback change, they're going to lose that national championship game. And he did. You're right.
Now, here's a question, guys. We talked about Clemson. Who's the second best team in the ACC this year?
Where's Florida State at? That's what I want to know. Is it NC State?
Well, is it NC State? Is it Florida State? Is it Miami? I mean, I don't know. There you go.
That's three teams right there. That's three teams. Mm-hmm. Is it NC State? They got their quarterback. That quarterback's pretty good for NC State. Their defense they say is better than what it was last year.
Well, they lost a lot to pros, so we'll see about their defense.
That's what I heard. That's what I've been reading up on. So,
but
Miami's
a good team. Florida State, to me, those are three that come to my mind. Am I missing somebody else?
Boston College?
No, Duke.
No.
Cutliff.
I mean, he'll do a good job. I don't see him up there contending like
Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. They're always, they sneak up on people.
But the preseason power rankings has Boston College fourth, and then they have Virginia
Tech.
Boston
College in the ACC.
A.J. Dillon is a Heisman candidate already. That's what they're talking about
for
Boston College.
Wow. Huh.
I think it's a tough league.
That's Luke Kuechly's team, man.
One thing for sure, I don't think Carolina is going to be contending for the top. They'll be contending for the bottom.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
They got NC State at 6.
State at 6.
They got NC State at
because of their defense.
Rankings.
They lost a lot of people. But I heard their defense could be better.
I think 6 is too low.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm not a State fan, but I think State's offense.
Top 3.
I think State's offense is going to be even better this year.
I agree with you too,
They got Carolina near the bottom of the barrel.
Well, that's where they need to be.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
So you're saying Fedora could be out if some reason
they
don't make big, I guess, say movement within ACC.
If they don't beat where they're projected to finish, I think he's gone. He's going to have to show that he's good enough coach to have them finish higher than what they've got projected to finish.
Yeah,
and I don't think he can do it to you, Freddie.
Alvin Kamara, the Saints running back, he was a backup at Alabama.
Yeah, he was.
He was the backup at Alabama. Then he went to some community college in Kansas. Was it Kansas or something like that? And then he went to Tennessee for
Wow.
So yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of talent Alabama gets.
Yeah, they just get all kind of pro NFL talent.
But they have tremendous speed.
They do.
And, physical ability out there. And so
they all have their own unique abilities that really makes them. Because Derrick Henry was more like the Frankenstein big back guy.
Yeah.
And then you have Alvin Kamara, who's the little scat back who also can run you
Bo
over.
Scarborough.
Well,
who's with the Cowboys.
And that's the thing about you sitting there and you go, I got all these tools here. This one do this one, this one do that. Guess what? Whenever I want to, I can throw mine in there and have the right tool. And that's sort of what Alabama does.
And that's what makes Nick Saban so good because he's so unpredictable with.
He evaluates talent so well.
Yeah,
and his coaches and stuff like him around him are just great. I mean, look at the coaches in the league.
And that's the key thing you said. A lot of teams get talent, but can you evaluate it and manage it?
Getting the most out of your talent.
He does.
Ken, he doesn't lose a step when he loses a coach.
No, I know he doesn't.
You know that?
You know why? Because he's the one leading.
He's the man.
He's the leader. There's no doubt who the leader is.
Belichick, same way. He loses all them offense and defense coordinators. He still wins, goes Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's the one calling the shots.
He's kind of like the Andy Reid from the years past because Andy Reid has all these head coaches like Todd Bowles is a head coach now. Who's the Eagles head coach? Doug Peterson's a head coach.
Yep.
He came from Andy Reid. John Harbaugh.
Same offensive philosophy.
But the Bills as a head coach came
But
from
he's never
Andy
had a
Reid.
defense. Jim Johnsn, when he was the defense coordinator of Philadelphia, he died, a few years ago. He was the brains of the defense, and he was Andy Reid's right-hand man. And when he passed away, that kind of hurt Philadelphia on the defensive side of the ball. So, but still, Peterson did a great job with the Eagles last year about, I mean, they beat the Patriots, beat Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, that was argument. That could be argued for Belichick that he.
Before we go to a commercial break, Ken, let's talk about Little League World Series. I heard you and Aston talking about Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii won the Little League World Series, beating South Korea in the championship game 3-0. I didn't get to see a lot of it. I saw a little bit of it, but I understand the last 17 innings Hawaii pitched, they held the team scoreless. So they had the pitching.
That's impressive. And who did they beat?
South Korea.
South Korea. How about that?
3-0.
Wow. So Hawaii was that good to win?
It was that good. They were good.
They had the best pitching staff.
They had the best pitching staff. They didn't have one pitcher. They had several.
They had several pitchers who could throw it. How about that? All righty, folks. The best in sports right here on WCSL 92.3 FM. Addison Johnsn, Mr. Baseball, Kenny Link, Tim Johnson. We coming back, folks. We're going to hit up some NASCAR. We're going to hit up some
NFL.
We got all that in Major League Baseball too. We're going to knock it out of the ballpark again after these commercial break.
People are talking about when they listen to Carolina Country.
We listen to you all the time. I listen to it at night, in the morning, at work, everywhere I go.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used. All makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
Tee it up and let it fly at the Crowders Mountain Golf Course, voted Gaston County's best course. Ride and play Monday through Friday for just $28. Play and ride after 12 for $25. On weekends and holidays, play and ride for $38 and afternoon for only $28. Seniors 55 and older play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. And Monday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride on Mondays for $18. The Crowders Mountain Golf Course, located on 255 Lincoln Academy Road in Gastonia.
Rock your way with Ace and enjoy the ultimate racing experience. See Ferguson's Ace Hardware in Cherryville for all the details. And enjoy concerts for a year and the top NASCAR races across the country. Go to raceatace.com or musicatace.com. And now at Ferguson's Ace Hardware, the Grommet, the newest member of the Ace family with up-and-coming products including tools, gadgets, problem solvers, and design innovation. All at Ferguson's Ace Hardware, Highway 150 East in Cherryville.
Baseball players rely on lots of coaches. First base, third base, pitching, and catching. But when it comes to insurance, you only need one coach, an Allstate agent. They'll help you with your insurance game plan. Plus, Allstate agents can bundle your coverage for your car, apartment, boat, motorcycle, and more. So you've got all your bases covered. Are you in good hands?
Hey, sports fans, call Allstate agent John Brown at 704-435-1920 today. Located at 503 East Main Street in Cherryville. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Is it time to update your kitchen? Then see the Kitchen Cafe at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Right now, save up to $1,500 when you buy 4 select GE Cafe appliances. Now is the time to save. If you're building a new home or remodeling your old one, this is a deal you can't pass up. Again, save up to $1,500 when you buy 4 select GE Cafe appliances at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Carter Chevrolet Swap Shop on Big O Country, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Okay, folks, here we are back on Best in Sports on a Wednesday afternoon on WCSL 1590 and 92.3 FM. Ken Link, Tim Johnsn, and Addison Johnsn here. Been talking a lot of sports. Going to move talk a little bit of NASCAR. There was no sprint race this past weekend. So they'll be racing this weekend. 24 races have been run this year, and 3 drivers have won 17 of the 24.
Sure domination, Ken, like you said, between those 3 drivers. I mean,
Kevin Harvick 7, Kyle Busch 6, and Martin Truex Jr. 4. That's 17 of the 24 races. I don't think I've seen a season that was been like that where 3 guys dominated.
I've seen one driver do that. That was Earnhardt, and Gordon, and Johnson. But like you said, I've not seen 3 drivers just dominate the whole entire field. Makes you wonder what they're doing.
I don't know.
Is it the parts, or a lot of people you say years ago it was always somebody getting like Gordon get the best parts, or Earnhardt, or whoever.
Well, you know how NASCAR is. It's a team thing, Tim, but everybody's always looking for an edge. In NASCAR, if you find a little edge over someone else, guess what? They'll change the rules so you don't have the edge. I mean, they're the oldest sport that does stuff like that.
It's crazy.
So right now, these 3 guys got an edge. Evidently, somebody didn't like Kyle Busch winning 6th because I understand some fan attacked him and punched him out. So things like that happen. I know that things happen like that in wrestling.
That can only happen in NASCAR.
But NASCAR is another sport it could actually happen in.
Yep.
Absolutely. So Kevin Harvick has won 7 races. Kyle Busch won 6. Martin Truex Jr. has won 4. And out of 17 out of 24 races, that is unbelievable, Ken.
Yeah, you win about 3/4 of them.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. So anyway, congratulations to all the Busch brothers. Kurt won the other week.
He did. He's in the chase because he won. So that was a big win for him.
So John, how about Jimmy? What has Jimmy?
Jimmy's struggling this year. I don't think Jimmy's won. And Chase Elliott won and he's in there right. He won his first race a couple of weeks ago. But Jimmy's struggling this year. His team is not winning races, not finishing up in the top 5 like he normally is.
He's won 7 NASCAR championships.
Yeah, he's usually one of the most consistent guys. His team is
week after week. I always thought Jimmy would break 7. I thought he'd win it. I'm starting to wonder now, Ken.
Well, it shows you how difficult it is. I mean, it's very competitive. You out there trying to win those things. You got those other drivers out there trying to get ahead and win it too, and all the teams always working to get better. It's a very competitive sport. There's no doubt about that.
Ken, the financial impact of the American Legion World Series there in Shelby, $15 million, Ken.
Yeah, they said that $15 million is what they estimated the economy benefited came in.
That's crazy.
As a result of that.
That's amazing.
American Legion World Series. It is the
biggest. They do it right.
It is the biggest economic event of the year in Cleveland County. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And what I was reading about, Tim, a lot of these coaches and parents of the players were talking about the Southern hospitality they saw when they were down there. The coaches and parents of players from Iowa, Michigan, Massachusetts just talking about how everybody was just great down here. They love the Southern hospitality. They treat the guys great. Not only Wednesday before you start the games on Thursday, do they have downtown, they have concerts, they have cornhole tournaments, and all the players get involved. They have big time for them. But the Chamber of Commerce is very much involved. They have brochures when these guys get to town that they show them where they can go and do things. Like a couple teams went to Carowinds one day.
A couple activities done.
Oh, yeah. Biltmore House, only about an hour and a half drive down the road from Shelby. And the good thing is, since they've changed the format a little bit, you play the pool play. Everybody plays 3 games, but you play it over 4 days. So those first 4 days, every team's got 1 day off in those first 4. So you can go and do some stuff. You don't have to be at the ballpark on that day. So that happens a lot too. So they do it right. There's no doubt about it. They've been doing it right for several years, and everybody loves coming here. So it's here permanently.
Ken,
it's not going anywhere.
You there all the time every year, and this is one of the first years that I went up there. We had to work, of course, and we did a Thursday game, but we hung around after the game, even came a little bit early before the game, but afterwards we stayed. I know at least an hour and a half, 2 hours after the game. And I tell you, the hospitality, like you said, Ken, the people
great.
of Shelby, they're just first-class people. And this should be a tradition. When you think about American Legion World Series, Shelby, North Carolina is the home place.
Yeah.
To me, it ought to be that.
And it's not just a couple of days. The teams arrive on Tuesday. And when they arrive, they're assigned a family or a church that takes care of them.
Yeah.
Takes care of them,
give 'em a
shows them
parade.
around, shows them where all the hotel is they're staying, any other things you want to do. Like I say, they've got somebody there, a host, to help them out starting Tuesday. And then Wednesday, like you said, all kinds of activities. Wednesday before the tournament starts on Thursday, just including the players. And they all have a good time then. And then they have that day off once during the first 4 days where they can go sightseeing and do anything they want to.
All right, Ken, that's good news there. And congratulations to Shelby on the American Legion World Series this year, $15 million. That's a lot of money. And the city well deserves that, too, no doubt about it. So, great people in Cleveland County, without a doubt. All righty, Kenny. Major League Baseball. Addison and Kenny, Major League Baseball standings. East, Boston Red Sox 91-42 over the Yankees. They're 6.5 games back, the Yankees is, over Boston. Let's see, Oakland, a game and a half. Ken, I tell you, that division, I tell you, Oakland's putting a lot of heat on Houston, the World Series champions from last year. And then you got my Cleveland Indians. They're just walking away with that division.
Well, every team in that division except Cleveland is well under 500, so they're just walking away with that division.
It's just that's over.
Not much competition right
there.
No,
they're not. And then you got Atlanta Braves, like you was telling me in between the break, you and Addison was 4.5 games back is the Phillies. So Atlanta's starting to put a little bit of distance there.
Philly's sort of falling back. Atlanta's playing pretty well now, and I think they won 6 out of the last 10. They won a couple in a row, so they're moving on out
Tommy
now.
Hawks are going. How about that, Kenny?
Yeah.
All right, then you have Arizona, Colorado tied, and then the Dodgers are a game and a half back. And I heard
Sneaking up on them.
I heard Addison said he's a Dodgers fan. And let's see, Cubs, St. Louis, Calvin Hastings, his Cardinals 4 games back. Milwaukee 5.5 games back. And I heard you say right now St. Louis and Milwaukee would be the playoff game.
Yeah, right now. But it's close. It's so close because you got those teams that are close. Arizona, Colorado, and the Dodgers, their records are very close. But right now, St. Louis would be the first wild card team, and Milwaukee would be next. Now, talking about the Dodgers, their closer Johnsn had a scare when his heart acted up again. He's had some heart issues, and I understand he's going to have some surgery after the season. But he's back pitching now, and they need him because he's a lights out closer. And they got Machado in a trade. And they bringing guys in that can help them win this thing down the stretch. So, you think they're going to make it, Addison?
I'm not very for sure, but I hope so. They're sneaking up on them. So,
but Arizona's been tough all year, and Colorado won't go away. They're right in there too. So, those 3 teams, I think it'll be a battle down to the last week of the season in that division.
I'm just happy to see my Braves back on top.
I think in that division, I think it's whoever gets hot and starts hitting the ball.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, game and a half back, Dodgers, they're coming on.
Oh, yeah, they're right there.
I tell you what, don't be surprised if Cleveland don't do the same thing Houston did last year. Cleveland Indians. Don't be surprised if they don't do what, remember Boston and won all in, Cleveland was way ahead.
Yeah.
So
remember that.
Don't be
well,
surprised.
Boston's been struggling a little bit of late. I think they've lost 8 out of 10 or something. They still got a good lead on the Yankees, but they've been struggling a little bit that Boston has. So.
You're listening to the Best in Sports. We'll be back after these 5 messages from our sponsors.
People are talking about Carolina country.
I listen to you every day. Love it. I listen to it at home. I listen to it in my car.
Carolina country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
Country Gold with Terry Clark.
I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Thursday afternoons 1 to 5 on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KDCBroadcasting.com. Join us for the live Sunday morning church broadcast here on Big O Country. On WOHS, 1390 AM, it's a live church broadcast of the Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby. On WCSL, it's a live church broadcast of the First Baptist Church of Cherryville. And on WLON, it's a live church broadcast of the Covenant Baptist Church in Lincoln. Join us for our Sunday morning worship services right here on Big O Country. If you've got too much stuff and not enough room, then C&P Storage in Kings Mountain can help you out. C&P Storage is located on Charles Street behind Wendy's in Kings Mountain. Their units are climate controlled and are available from 5x5 to 10x17.5. All are fenced in, well lighted, and have a controlled access gate. Plus, they have a friendly, helpful staff. Call or come by C&P Storage today, 704-739-2055. C&P Storage, Charles Street, right behind Wendy's in Kings Mountain.
The new Cherryville Farmers Market opens Thursdays at 220 East Main Street in downtown Cherryville, right behind the Cherryville Chamber of Commerce. Local growers, local farmers, bakers, artisans, and crafters are all invited. For more information, call the Cherryville Chamber of Commerce at 704-435-3451. Become part of the local food economy and support downtown Cherryville with the new Cherryville Farmers Market every Thursday from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m.
For over 100 years, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home in Falston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stamey Funeral Home has added the Cremation Center along with a new name, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Falston, and the Stamey Funeral Home in Cherryville, located on Dixie Street in Cherryville, serving you with care and compassion in your time of need. If you want it sold, put it on the Carter Chevrolet Swap Shop with Milton Baker. Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 10, right here on Big O Country and KTCBroadcasting.com.
All right, welcome back to the Best in Sports right here on 92.3 on the FM station and 1590 on the AM station. Tim Johnsn, Ken Link, Addison Johnson. We're live here today in the studio. We got some NFL football, Carolina Panthers,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
We're just about a week and a half away, Ken, for the big day.
Big day, and, you know, everybody's got a clean record. The Panthers 3-0, and the Cowboys 0-3.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
Oh, I got to say.
Now, Tim, I watched some of that game. I understand Prescott and Elliott didn't play. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I hope those two guys don't get hurt because offensively, the backups are not good.
They're struggling with depth.
Just remember, Ken, ask Miss Teresa not to make no plans for Sunday. She's coming to Charlotte to pick you up. Oh, man. Carolina Panthers, Ken, looking pretty good, like you said.
The only thing is that he just mentioned offensive line suspect for another team. Well, the Panthers keep having injuries to their tackles, Tim. They're running out of tackles because everybody gets hurt. Yeah. Taylor Moton, who was a big offensive lineman they drafted last year, is getting a chance to play, and he played left tackle, did really well the other night against New England. But the guy a backup that they had at the other tackle position, he went down, and so they're really hurting as far as tackles. So I look for them maybe to make a move when some of the cuts happen to bring a tackle in to help them. They're okay interior. Ryan Khalil at center, and then the two guards are fine. It's just the tackles is where they got question marks. But Panthers have been playing well.
It all starts with the lines.
Cam Newton and McCaffrey both had good games against New England. In fact, the Panthers had a 25-3 lead in the fourth quarter before New England tacked on a few points.
Mm-hmm. So Panthers defeated New England 25-14 last Friday night. Like you said, had another injury to the tackle position, Ken. So do you see maybe Panthers, you and Addison, maybe see them on the waiver, maybe a trade, or maybe try to pick somebody up?
They'll try to pick somebody up.
They'll have to.
They'll need to. They don't even
to get in the playoffs where they need to be.
They don't even have enough depth now. I mean, they got two guys starting. It's like I think they got one other tackle on the roster. Everybody they have four guys that can play tackle that's gone down.
Yeah.
So there you go. They need to bring somebody in.
Cam Newton. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, both of them played well against New England's defense. Can you see an indication maybe Cam is maybe listening to Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I didn't. I never thought he wouldn't listen. I mean, I think you got a good coordinator there, and I think Cam's working fine with him. And
he's the best offensive coordinator Carolina's ever had.
And I feel good about. He's the type of coordinator that will try to coordinate around your weaknesses on the line because he's smart enough to do it. We had one before. Shula didn't know what he was doing. I'm sorry, he just didn't. You got Norv Turner knows what he's doing. He knows how to use those weapons. Cam will be better. I look for Cam to hit some of those weapons out of the backfield on some short passes, not just going long all the time because you got to have some protection if you do that. So I think the offense is going to be more diverse. Cam's got more weapons at his disposal that he's ever had since he's been in the league.
So here's my thing about Cam Newton. Cam Newton ran the other night in preseason and dove head first, and they say he got a black eye.
Not a smart decision.
No,
could have got really hurt.
Now, do you think Norv Turner's going to tell him to run the football? They want Cam Newton to stay in the pocket and throw the foot. That's what I'm saying. He's got to listen.
Well, yeah, but
he's going to get hurt if he don't.
But Cam's thing that makes him Cam is that when he leaves the pocket, he's always that threat because he runs a sub 4.
He's a linebacker or a tight end running with the football.
He runs a sub 4.5, and he can move.
But he doesn't have to do that quite as much this year because he can get it to the playmakers.
Well, Norv Turner, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm talking about in the short passes or the little.
He should have dumped the ball off to Christian McCaffrey.
He could have.
He was wide open.
Yeah, and see that's what he got to learn to do. You dump it off McCaffrey. McCaffrey makes some things happen instead of you going out there and taking the hits. That's what he got to learn to do.
Well. Yeah. Panthers a lot like the Cowboys. The Cowboys lose Dak, they're in trouble. They lose Cam, they're in trouble.
If Cowboys lose Dak or Zeke, they're in trouble.
Well, a lot of teams, if you lose your best player, which in a lot of times at the quarterback, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that about a lot of teams.
I tell you right now, Cam's going to be running come September the 9th. I promise you that. He's going to be running for his life.
He ain't no defense
because
to
Dallas
run for.
is coming. Their defense is coming.
Well,
we'll talk about them a little bit.
I'll say that. I'll say this about Dallas. Their defense looked good. As bad as they looked offensively, they looked pretty good on defense against
Arizona. When they get David, or he won't be there in Carolina, David Irvin. When they get David Irvin back, they got Randy Gregory, Lawrence, Irvin, Tyron Crawford, and then they got the linebacker, Jalen, Sean Lee. Special. Special, Ken. And they're going to have – and Earl Thomas is coming. I'm telling you, he'll be at Carolina playing. Earl Thomas he'll be the safety for Dallas.
I've noticed some things for the Patriots, though. The Patriots lost a lot of their targets who they used to go to last year.
It don't matter.
They lost Danny Amendola. They lost Brandon Cooks, who signed a big contract with the Rams.
Yep.
And, people are starting to double-team Gronkowski, and he's getting, he's not getting the looks he used to get.
But, see, that's the thing about Belichick. He just don't care. I mean, he gets rid of you.
No, he'll get rid of him.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Tom Brady.
Their receiver core looks pretty bad. Now I know Brady can spread it around, but they did lose some talent.
And Dorsett last year, he didn't get all the looks that he's getting this year, and he hadn't developed as a receiver so far.
Trust me, Tom Brady will help him out.
Speaking of wide receiver, what about the Dodgers? What about the
Giants?
Well, we know by Odell just signed a big contract, 5-year, $95 million. That's a lot of money.
Is he the best? Is right now? Is he the best wide receiver in the league?
Antonio Brown. I see them.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. Yeah, I see both of them are the best.
Those are two at the top.
Julio Jones. You wouldn't put
that's your top three receivers right there.
Yeah, there's your top three. I agree with you.
Jarvis Landry had the most receptions last year of all the receivers.
I know he did.
And then you got Michael Thomas from the Saints who got a lot of receptions.
Yeah, he had a great year with the Saints.
Coming into the league, I don't know about the contract out of gave Odell because of his injuries. Because it's kind of suspect because you have Michael Thomas who's had very healthy years, getting a lot of receptions, a lot of yards, putting up points for the Saints. But would you put him in the top 5 with Odell, Julio, Jarvis Landry? I would put him in there because he gets he's
Jarvis
very
Landry in top 5.
He's very underrated.
He's underrated.
Very underrated.
He's had a couple good years in a row. I mean, it hadn't been just one row.
He was the one that he had the fastest of 200 receptions until Odell broke that.
Now he's at Cincinnati, is that right?
No, he's at Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He's at Cleveland.
I'm sorry, Cleveland. That's right. He Hard Knocks
Yeah.
at Cleveland. Yes.
And then you got Josh Gordon coming back.
He played at Miami Dolphins.
He played at Miami with very crappy quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill was gone most of the time he was playing, and then he had to play with a lot of backup quarterbacks. And it'd be interesting to see how good he does when he comes into a league with Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
That's a very good quarterback, very underrated. And then you have Baker Mayfield battling for that position.
How about Baker Mayfield? Is he gonna? Do you see him? See him taking that job in midseason?
It's hard to say because head coach really loves Tyrod Taylor's work ethic. Really loves his work ethic. He comes in, does his job, and with the Bills, Tyrod Taylor was not getting along with the coaching staff, not getting along with the organization. He wanted out. Everybody knew that. And for me, watching the game last year where they benched him and they had Peterson in, who threw 3 interceptions in the first half.
Yeah, they benched him for a guy that wasn't nearly as good.
And then
as
when
him.
they put him in, they put Tyrod in, and he came in and he made it a closer game.
Yeah.
And within one quarter.
Huh.
So I mean, obviously he's a better quarterback than the Bills, what they had, and they just didn't like him. And they got rid of him. Now they're in more trouble because they got a rookie quarterback who's not making the right decisions with Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, they're going to go with the rookie quarterback, and that's not going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And their offensive line is struggling as well. So
Ken, let me ask you a question. Next week, we come in here next Wednesday. We're previewing the Cowboys and Panthers game right here live on the Best in Sports.
Yeah, and I just got one question.
What's that?
Are some of these guys actually going to come and play? Are they been sitting around not doing anything all preseason?
Well, most of them can't make it to the plane on time. So
yeah, there you go. Is Martin going to play?
Martin playing. Oh yeah,
we know.
He's practicing this week.
We know
Frederick's probably done.
Frederick's
he
out.
may not ever play football.
Out
again.
indefinitely for sure.
He's out. He may not ever play football. He's probably going to be on IR. Means that in 8 games into the season, if he's able, he can come back. But he's out for 8 games.
So their offensive line is struggling real bad.
No. They got Looney. Looney's going to come in and take his
their
place.
Backups,
He's played well.
Their
Backup
struggled against Arizona. Put it that way.
Well, that's with the quarterback struggle.
Well, they
need to cut him.
Their depth chart is not as where it needs to be.
They'll miss Frederick because
he's the brains of the bunch.
He's all pro center and he's in the middle of everything.
I want to know what they're going to do whenever, when they stack the box on Zeke. And they make Dak throw it to these. He's going
to throw for 400 yards.
Yeah,
I hope he does. I hope he does.
To who? Let's talk about the Cowboy wide receivers.
There's a lot of holes in the hands out here.
I can't even call their names.
Who's going to be the number 1 wide receiver there? Is it going to be Allen Hurns?
Does Brady have a number 1 receiver?
They don't have.
Gronkowski. That's his name.
They don't have a number 1. They got a bunch of number 3s.
Look,
I think what it is.
The Patriots can struggle. The Patriots can struggle, but the name on the back of the Patriots jersey that says Gronkowski, he's not struggling. He's out partying right now, and then he'll be there for the game time.
He probably will.
He's the next Lawrence Taylor of football.
He probably is.
Well, unless he gets injured. I mean,
he does get injured.
The man's good when he's on the field.
From what I saw last year, he's actually played really smart, and he's fell down whenever he needs to fall down instead of taking 5 people on his back and walking with them.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I like what my Cowboys got.
Well, we'll see. It'll be a lot of.
Zeke have 150 yards.
I mean, you got 80 targets from Jason Witten last year. That's going to be gone.
Yeah.
You got over 120 from Dez Bryant. He's gone. So who's going to get those targets? Has to be one of them.
I'm glad Dez is gone. And Witten, I could outrun Witten.
Nobody's going to get him.
But he can catch. I can outrun him though.
What I'm saying is
they're going to line up and run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. And guess what? When a defense stops them, like the Panthers can, what they going to do?
Well, I'm telling you guys.
If they catch with their hands and not their feet, it might be something well.
We'll see. Well, all I got to say is Ken's going to be very quiet on the way home from the game.
You're going to see when they play Pittsburgh, Dad.
I bet Ken will be. So I have to wake him
up. No, I'll just be smiling.
You're going to find out when Pittsburgh plays them.
Well, how about give us a rundown on Pittsburgh this year, Addison?
Well, let's
Is
see.
this
You
Ben's
got
last year?
you got Le'Veon Bell, who went into the press and said, "Look, this is gonna be my best year for Pittsburgh." So he's gonna get a big contract.
He won't
after
be there
leaves,
next year.
After he leaves Pittsburgh, he's gonna get a big contract from whatever team takes him. You got Antonio Brown. You got Juju Smith-Schuster as a rookie who led all the rookies in receiving yards. That's really good. And then you got their offensive line, which is healthy this year. And then you got Big Ben, who can.
Is this his last year, Big Ben?
Who knows?
If he wins the Super Bowl, if he goes deep in the playoffs or wins the Super Bowl, this will be the last year. And if their defense stays,
he's got to win Super Bowl. I don't think he'll give it up if he goes deep. I think he's got to win Super Bowl.
A couple other items, guys, in the NFL. Heard coming in, Aaron Rodgers just agreed to a 4-year, $134 million contract. It could be $180 million with incentives.
Aaron Donald, wow.
That's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I'm sorry.
Now, Aaron Donald, he's about to be re-signed to a big contract.
Well deserved.
With the Rams. They said he's looking at a contract worth about $22 million a year, $80 million guaranteed.
Yep.
One guy that is still holding out and is not looked like he's going to sign anytime soon is Khalil Mack from Oakland. Reports said there are 4 teams that contacted Oakland about a trade for him, and Oakland is listening at least. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, that's interesting because the rumor is, Ken, he's not getting along with John Gruden. Gruden's not.
Well, he's still holding out. He hadn't been around at all.
All righty, folks, that's going to do it for the Best in Sports here on a Wednesday. Don't you guys go nowhere. Hang around with us, and we'll be back next Wednesday. Remember, in the morning, Calvin Hastings from 6 to 8. Mad Dog, Milton Baker comes on after Calvin does. He'll be here about 8 o'clock until about 10 o'clock. So they'll start the morning off right. Here come next week. Ken and I will be back, and we'll be previewing the Carolina Panthers, Kenny.
Yes, and we're ready for the big NFL kickoff. One more exhibition game to Tim to find out who those backups are going to be that's going to be on that 53-man roster for all the teams.
You guys have a great week.
All right.
Proud to be live and local.
Just in touch with what's going on.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used, all makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at RenatoAutomall.com. When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
Time is running out to save on your dream RV. Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain's August Adventure Blowout Sale is ending soon. Don't miss these unbelievable limited time only deals, like a 2018 Forest River Acadia 29 ST for just $16,495. Need more? We're including a premium cooler worth $300 with every new RV purchase this month. Hurry in and visit Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain, the RVer's trusted resource today. Exit 8 off I-85, online at campersinn.com. The Roundup store in Shelby is having a round 'em up, clear 'em out, get 'em out of the way sale. Right now, you'll find odd and end sizes of windows, brand new at up to 50% off. Different sizes to choose from. But hurry, there is a limited supply. First come, first serve. Don't miss it. The round them up, clear them out, get them out of the way sale on odd and end sizes of